What is up, true believers? The eternal truth. The eternal truth. The eternal truth. The eternal truth behind our modern mythology.
What is up, true believers? It's Mason here with Comics and Crosses, where we discuss the eternal truths behind our modern mythology. And today is Friday, February 4th, 2022. I hope everybody out there in the world is having a great week, having a good morning so far. And some of you fortunate folks might even still be sleeping. Who knows? Maybe on the West Coast. Although 6, I don't know. I figure this is a reasonable time. This is a reasonable time to get up and start your day, to get up and get going. Get up and get going. So here I am. Here I am to talk comics, to talk entertainment, to talk fun stuff with you in the morning, and hopefully kick off what's going to be a great weekend. I happen to be snowed in at the moment. I am in the Fort Worth area of Texas, and we got some snow yesterday. My kids were super excited, although they were a little surprised to realize how cold it is when it snows. They're little, they're 4 and 2, so they did the best they could, and it was fun. It was fun. We got to borrow a neighbor's sled and go down the driveway, which is not something we ever did in California, although, some areas of California do get snow. Do they? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I'm thinking of Nevada. We'd always go to Tahoe. Anyway, all that aside, it has been a great week. It has been a good time to be a fan, I think, lately. Now, we as fans of comic books, of superheroes, of sci-fi, of fantasy, I think are living in a really interesting time. What a time to be alive. This right now is a time where maybe we've seen it before, but once again, people are trying to appease the fans. Did you see Spider-Man No Way Home? Fan service is now becoming a trend, and that is awesome. We're going to be talking today about Star Wars, and in no small part because the people at Star Wars, whether it be Filoni or what's his name, Favreau, they are trying to give the people what they want. Imagine that. It's Star Wars. Star Wars fans are finally getting what they really have been wanting to see for a very long time. Spider-Man fans, Marvel fans. When Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness comes out, that's going to be, I bet you, a ton of jaw-dropping, fan-pleasing craziness. And it's a good thing. I think that for a lot of time, there's been very divisive movies coming out. There's been things that have been basically trying to appease, in my opinion, uppity critics, people who are detached from fandom but have a lot to say as it pertains to their own particular worldview. So, like I said, what a time to be alive. Also a good week for comics. I think Image, I feel like the stuff I enjoy best is stuff that comes out of Image Comics. There's definitely stuff from all across the board, from Mad Cave, from Boom, from Vault, indie stuff, and DC and Marvel. But two really cool new worlds that are expanding and coming out of Image Comics this week are Noctera. Issue 7 came out. This is the first issue in the second arc, the second storyline. And the first one was really cool. It was a great kickoff to a series, in my opinion. And the other one is Geiger had that 80-page giant issue come out. I think, yeah. So this is going to be great. This is kind of perfect for what this world needs right now, because we've been introduced to a lot of little things. Basically, there's been a big nuclear fallout, and there's kind of these crazy factions that have taken over Las Vegas and different casinos and have whole different, like, it's wild. It's but super entertaining. A lot of great visuals and a great opportunity to develop a whole new world. So those are out from Image this week. Definitely recommend those. I haven't got to read them yet, but the stories so far lead me to believe that these are going to be great. So so that's a little bit of what's going on in comic world. Also, a lot of other good stuff coming out. I know there's everybody was trying to get Amazing Spider-Man 88 because of a new character. So that's cool. Right on. And anyway, but today I wanted to talk Star Wars. So, and warning, there may be a bit of spoilers for Book of Boba Fett episodes 5 and 6, which came out. Hey, what's up? We got Lost in Comics in the house. Thanks for joining us. We are talking Star Wars this morning and the state of Star Wars. And if you missed my beginning intro, to sum it up again, what a time to be alive, because I think that where there's been a lot of animosity between fan bases and the creators, and and there's been kind of divisive movies and shows and character choices happening in fandom. We are starting to see a trend where studios and creators, content creators, especially these big IPs that are very beloved and have a huge fan base, where they are opening themselves up to a concept of appeasing the fans. What a novel idea. What a novel idea. Spider-Man No Way Home, and then of course there is now what's happening with The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. So The Mandalorian on Disney Plus was a runaway success. It was their first kind of big show. And if you don't know, The Mandalorian is a storyline that happens basically after Return of the Jedi. So after the original trilogy, this and before the sequel trilogy that recently came out, where it was like Han and Leia's son, and so this is before all that goes down, but after the original movies. So in essence, Luke Skywalker should be out there trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, and there should be no more evil galactic empire, or maybe some remnants of them, but basically it's a transitionary time. It's awesome, but a slippery slope. Can't please everyone. This is true. You're never going to be able to please everybody. But, I think sometimes you can be kind of too smart for the room, too smart for the situation. You kind of outthink yourself. And there's a term that I've heard a lot in like movies and shows where these creators are trying to subvert expectations. I heard this a lot with The Last Jedi. It was supposedly great because it subverted expectations. Well, good on you, but you also didn't appease anything I wanted to see. You gave me a broken down, hopeless Luke Skywalker in violation of his own character as we know him, and that's a problem you get into when you get these series where fans know these characters, know what makes them tick, and then you give weak motivation for why they would change and be different, other than maybe you as a writer wanted to make it happen. That's the way I think about it. That's the way I look at that case in particular. And so what's happened now with, if you don't know, we're talking Book of Boba Fett, but fans have been greatly pleased to find out that in the series Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian has returned, who was, as I said, it was a great big hit. Baby Yoda, Grogu, was loved from that series, became a instant top-selling toy, I'm sure. And so here's an interesting thing with Star Wars, and depending on your age, you can probably track with me. So I was born in the 80s, and I was born after Return of the Jedi had been released. And so I watched these movies on TV or on VHS. And I remember when the special editions of the original trilogy came out, and they added some scenes and they updated the special effects, and it was kind of George Lucas warming up to do the prequel trilogy, episodes 1, 2, and 3, which became the story. Um, oh, dang. Okay, Lost in Comics is not caught up, but I get it. I get it. I get it. So the prequel trilogy told the story of how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, right? And it really completed in this picture. They were not good movies. I mean, they were they were bad. They were forced, and the special effects were weird. They looked like a video game. George kind of went ham on like green screen and blue screen. I guess trying to just do things that couldn't be done before, but were really kind of over the top. Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker was basically a terrible actor. But then again, I heard in their defense, the writing was so bad, who could pull those lines off? I mean, Natalie Portman did the best she could, but it was rough. And what's happened now is that since the sequel trilogy came out, I guess some people really liked it, but for the most part, it kind of made people appreciate the prequel trilogy, which was kind of looked on as, the ugly, not as attractive stepsister of the trilogies. And now people are like, you know what? I really like those prequel movies. They weren't so bad because of how divisive the sequel trilogy has been. So this, with introducing the Mandalorian and this kind of storyline in between, it was a very interesting opportunity because people who maybe didn't like the new movies with Kylo Ren and Rey and all that stuff and bringing Palpatine back, it gives a chance to kind of do what shows like the Clone Wars did. Because the Clone Wars animated series basically filled in more stuff to the prequel trilogies and made them much better, honestly. I like the Clone Wars animated series way more than I like, Attack of the Clones or, Revenge of the Sith. I mean, basically, those are kind of movies that I feel like I watch because I have to, because I had to see what happened. And truth be told, I didn't even watch The Rise of Skywalker. I was half pleased with The Force Awakens. I was really disappointed with The Last Jedi, and I didn't even bother with the Rise of Skywalker because basically they were kind of throwing stuff against the wall to see what stuck. So it's now been admitted by what's her name, Daisy Ridley, that they didn't really have a plan for what was going to happen in the last movie, and it was I think the storyline of The Last Jedi really kind of shot him in the foot. Plus, Carrie Fisher passed away. Just a lot of things were going on, but now to get to today, The Mandalorian the Book of Boba Fett has brought back in the Mandalorian and his storyline with him and Grogu. We got to see in this latest issue, this latest episode, Luke training Grogu. We got to see Ahsoka and Luke together. I mean, just all things that, as a Star Wars fan, are like blowing your mind. You get to see Grogu training and working on becoming a Jedi. And we got the issue. The main reason I wanted to talk about this is because the issue of attachment came up for Jedis. So here's the thing. it was a big deal in the prequel trilogy and was a big part of why Anakin Skywalker fell to the dark side. The Jedi said, no attachments, you're not supposed to have a family, all sorts of things like that. You're just kind of one with, you're like a monk, basically. And that empowers you to be really dope and swing a lightsaber around and do what you got to do. So, however, Anakin Skywalker had like, a secret wife and had, got her pregnant, had twin Luke and Leia. Anakin Skywalker had all these attachments, and it led to him being fearful of losing them. It was like he lost his mom, and so the idea of attachments for a Jedi, for the traditional Jedi way, was a big no-no, was a big problem, and so what's interesting though is they're kind of bringing that back up with Grogu. They're bringing. Wait, what? They're bringing that back up with my wife's messing with me. I made my wife watch the original trilogy, and then she wasn't down for the prequel trilogy. So, so she's missing out. But anyway, so so the Jedi, they don't have attachments, right? So but then with Luke Skywalker, he became a Jedi in a whole new age where most of the Jedi were wiped out, where he was trained as a pretty much adult, whereas when Anakin Skywalker came into the Jedi temple at 10 years old or so, they believed he was too old. And now Luke Skywalker at like 18 or so is training, becoming a Jedi. And so he's way too old, has way too many attachments. And furthermore, he creates greater attachments. And in Return of the Jedi, it's all about him saving his friends. I mean, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi are about him saving his friends, saving his father, who he feels an attachment to, even though he doesn't really know him, but has that bond, that father-son bond and conviction to rescue him sort of from the dark side. Luke Skywalker's story is a story of attachment. So is Anakin's. I mean, it's interesting because the Star Wars saga, the story as we know it, and I'm not talking about extended stuff into the books or whatever, 1,000 years in the past or High Republic, anything like that. But let's talk about the Skywalker Star Wars saga. Is about a two-sided coin, that coin being attachment. For Anakin Skywalker, attachment was fatal. It led him to the dark side. For Luke Skywalker, attachment led him to liberating the entire galaxy. So it's really interesting. And also what I think of that is that it's unfortunate that I see Star Wars kind of slipping. They've kind of, I feel like they've really missed an opportunity in that they've slipped into this place again of, for Jedi's attachments bad. But I think to treat it that way, for it to be like for Grogu, for example, either you're a Mandalorian and you have attachments, or you're a Jedi and you have no attachments. I think that's kind of a step backwards for the evolution that Luke, who represents the entire Jedi Order at this point, has gone through. Because with attachment, because of attachment, he saved his father. Anakin at the end said, "You were right. Tell your sister you were right." He still hung on to the light side a little bit, and was saved in the end. Talking Return of the Jedi. Spoiler warning, circa 1983. So now I think if you're, this new Filoni-verse and stuff of the world of the Mandalorian, of the Baby Yoda, of all this, of Luke rebuilding a new Jedi Order, here's what I think it seems strange and a big misstep, although there's been many missteps in Disney Star Wars, in my opinion. But it's a big misstep to ignore where Luke has progressed to and where the new Jedi Order under his guidance or maybe him with some help from Ghost, Force Ghost Yoda and Obi-Wan, where they've come to. And considering all the stuff introduced in the animated series like Clone Wars and Rebels, I mean, with Ahsoka taking on the White Blades, not being associated with the Jedi Order, there needed to be more talk of, and if Luke was really the chosen one, if he was the one to bring balance to the Force, wouldn't it make sense that he would have a balance of the light and dark side? Be able to maintain emotion and attachment while still leading with the light side of the Force. I just think this is where Star Wars should have gone. I mean, if you look at the animated series and all the themes they were bringing up, a lot of people were expecting it. When The Last Jedi was coming out and that you were seeing these things of Luke in the preview saying the Jedi Order needs to end or something like that. We were seeing the books that looked like they were going to be the Journal of the Wills. Now I'm going deep Star Wars fan, but if you know what I'm talking about, the Journal of the Wills, him talking about ending the Jedi Order. I thought we were going to get a Luke who had finally come to a realization of a true balance of the light and the dark side of the Force. Now, even like societally, like where that story would fall. I'm a Christian person. This is Comics and Crosses. And there's a lot of Christian kind of symbology in the idea of the light side of the Force and the dark side of Force kind of being led by obedience, like Obi-Wan, and then, being led by your evil passions, kind of just a simple form of obedience and of sin. It used to be, even in the 2000s, I mean, with the world getting away from Christian thinking and ideas, I would have, I mean, even I could say that with the world being more influenced by Hindu ideas and by different things like that, Buddhist ideas in particular being popular, wouldn't a balance of light and dark make so much sense? Like the way that the Force and the themes and the spirit of Star Wars in the 70s and 80s, the way that resonated so much with culture. If I was in charge of Star Wars and I had half a brain, I would say taking this to somewhere new, but that resonates with the soul of America or of a lot of the world right now, and talking about the Force now is in balance and changing everybody's concept of what the Force was supposed to be, would have been brilliant. Would have been an evolution of the story. Instead, we're taking a step back. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But unfortunately, they don't pay me the big bucks to direct Star Wars. So that's what I think. And I think that unfortunately, though, they, since the way the timeline is, the sequel trilogies, that's the direction that things have to go. So all roads lead to there. And I don't know. We'll see what we got. But for any Star Wars fans out there watching or on the replay, let me know. Do you agree with me? Where do you think, are you happy with Star Wars? Are you happy with The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett? Are you happy with the sequel trilogy? Are the movies exactly what you want? I think that I just hope that the story goes forward, and I wish that they would have thought of some things like this, because I think that it would have made a lot more sense with the progression of Luke Skywalker's story. That's my thoughts. But yeah, so today is Friday. We got a great weekend ahead of us. I hope that you all get a chance to read some great comics this weekend. Relax, be safe out there. It's snowing where I'm at, or there's snow on the ground anyway. So yeah, so God bless. We're going to be back on Monday, 8 a.m. Central, and stay tuned for some new and exciting things coming up. Please share this video if you could, and I will catch you all next time.